Hi there, everybody. This is David, and are you ready to discuss some leaks and rumors? I am! This is like one of my favorite parts of gaming. It's just kind of like going on through and seeing what's out there, like the speculation, the wondering, the discussion of it all. Yeah, announcements are great, but like trying to figure out what these companies are doing and like just trying to figure out hey, I really wish that they make like that sequel or that remake or that new game. It's always so much fun to me. I was doing when I was like a little kid and I would read Pack Watch or something in Nintendo Power and just kind of wonder what was happening, what games were coming up and things like that. So today we have two games that are pretty much rumored. They're out there. There's some pretty credible leaks going on here, and I do want to discuss both of them with y'all today, and I do think that is worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers. With your help, your like, and your sub, I know that I can get there. Help me level on up. So thank you so much for that. So let's go ahead and dive right on into the first one, which is one that we have been discussing for about a week or so now, ever since Microsoft talked about their developer direct that's going to be happening on January the 23rd. It looks like a lot of stuff is happening on January the 23rd, but this developer direct is really exciting to me. So they first said, that there's going to be a mystery game being announced here. They said a surprise location to see another studio's brand new game. Then a couple of days later, we had a leak that came out from Windows Central saying that, hey, this isn't just like any old game. This is a new entry in a legendary Japanese IP that has decades of history and should make a lot of fans happy. So I was like, wow, this is great. So I went ahead and I made a video on that, and I talked about, what game it could possibly be and everything else. But then something else came out today, and this article is titled, January 23rd will be an excellent day for Persona 5 fans. Yeah, we know that Microsoft and Atlus are like buddy-buddy. They are always together. They're announcing a lot of their games together. Pretty much every single game that they came out with last year was first announced over on Xbox, and then they had that 3-day exclusive sort of thing going on here. So it looks like that is going to continue with this, and basically what is happening is Atlus is dropping a new Persona 5 The Animation that is happening on January 23rd. So isn't that kind of coincidental that they're, going to be visiting some mystery studio that's putting out a new entry in a legendary Japanese IP that has decades of history, and they're totally simpatico with Atlus, and then Atlus also on January 23rd is dropping this animated series about Persona. So it just seems like, wow, this is going to be a double whammy of Persona. More than likely Persona 6 is going to be announced on January the 23rd, so I am so looking forward to that. That is just fantastic. But again, Persona 5 The Animation is coming out on January the 23rd. We do know that, but hopefully Persona 6 is going to be announced on January the 23rd as well. The next thing comes from Nintendo, and this is from a very reputable leaker called PH Brazil, who has a pretty good track record behind him, if I do say so myself. And not only is he saying that there is going to be a General Switch Direct in February, but during that Switch Direct, there's going to be one final big Nintendo game that is going to be revealed that is somewhat niche and is not a remaster, but it comes from a beloved franchise. So we already know that Nintendo is going to be doing a Nintendo Direct about the Switch 2 in April, on April the 2nd. Now, this Direct in February would just be about the Switch 1, for lack of a better term, and whatever games they still have coming down the pike for the rest of the year before the Switch 2 drops, probably this holiday season, I would imagine. So, we need to see what games they still have coming up, and he's saying there's a big one from Nintendo, beloved franchise, somewhat niche, not a remaster. So either a brand new game or a remake. And this comes from a post on a message board called Fammy Boards. So let's go ahead and jump on over to Fammy Boards and see what he is talking about. It says, when asked by his co-host if there's anything big in this direct, He also mentions that we're getting a somewhat big game, the final big game for the Switch 1. He also describes it as a new version of a beloved series. Because of how it was said in the podcast, I'm not sure if he means that this is a new game or if it's a port or a remaster, and he says, hey, they're not the same, and it's also not a remaster. So then I'm thinking, well, what game could this possibly be? And there has been a leak out there for like 3 years now, and this leak comes from another really reputable source, Emily Rogers, who also posted on the same message board called Family Boards. And 3 years ago, she pretty much predicted or told us that, Fire Emblem Engage is coming out. That's basically what she said. She said, Fire Emblem Engage is here, and she basically told us exactly what it was going to be. She said it's going to be a collaboration between Intelligent Systems, Koei, Tecmo, and Gust. She also said that it's coming out to celebrate Fire Emblem's 30th anniversary. She also said that the main character has strange red and blue hair, and that his mother is a dragon. She also said that these new emblems are gimmicks that allow players to summon Fire Emblem characters from the past to join your squad, and then it basically sounds like maybe like Fire Emblem Heroes, but it's like a mainline Fire Emblem game. So after she was done pretty much explaining exactly what Fire Emblem Engage was, she also dropped this little tidbit, and she goes, oh, hey, by the way, there's also a remake of Fire Emblem 4 coming out too. And we had not heard hide nor hair of Fire Emblem 4 ever since, but she so accurately predicted Fire Emblem Engage that it's just like, oh, hey, by the way, Fire Emblem 4 is coming too. So it's like, wow, okay. So I have to look at this and be like, why Fire Emblem 4? I mean, that is a beloved franchise, and this is a remake. This wouldn't be a remaster because this was, SNES game back in like 1996 that this came out. But another thing to keep in mind, Fire Emblem as a series has a history of, coming out late in a console's lifestyle. Fire Emblem 6, it was called Fire Emblem Thracia 776. It came out in 1999 for the SNES, for God's sakes. So the N64 came out in 1996. The PS1 came out in 1995. 4 years after the PS1 came out, and 1 year before the PS2 hit the scene, Nintendo released an SNES Fire Emblem game. Yeah, I know. Same thing happened with New Mystery of the Emblem remake. Basically, the 3DS was announced in March 2010, and then in July of that same year, they released New Mystery of the Emblem for the regular DS. And then Fire Emblem Echoes came out in 2017, way at the end of the 3DS's life cycle. So, like, Fire Emblem, again, has a history of coming out late in the game. And this is a really, really good one. I first played this when it first translated over on ROM hacking, and I pretty much played all of the Fire Emblems back then, whenever they all got translated. And it was really good to play them through, like, emulation and stuff, because you could save state, because it was permadeath and me don't really mix, so I would, like, save at the beginning of each turn if somebody died. Oh, nope, load state, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is a really fun one, and it's a genealogy of the Holy Wars, so of course this goes through, like a time span, and it follows a father and a son as they, work their way through and save their homeland and all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really fun game. So, we have 2 really credible, fun leaks, and we're going to see if the first one comes to fruition on the 23rd. I, for one, think that it will happen. It just makes sense to me that Microsoft and Atlas are partnering up again, and then this next one with Nintendo, they gotta release something between now and the Switch 2. They can't just, like, have a dead year. They gotta release something, and Fire Emblem 4 remake, that has been around for, like, 3 years now, hey, now's the time. Let's release them. So now I want to hear from y'all. What do you think about these leaks and rumors and stuff? To me, it's just a fun topic to cover. I just like covering it. It's just fun for me. So let me know what y'all think about it. And as always, have a good day.